Libertarianism is pro-immigration, pro-market, pro-trade.
More competitive, less centralized. Not military confrontations, but peaceful interaction.
The war on drugs has been actually an unmitigated disaster.
It was a strong external positive shock by the oil prices. So, and at the same time, we need to add that Chavez and his administration run deficits all their years, from 2004 until he died in 2013. So he ended up having a 200% of our GDP debt when he died. So our GDP, we borrowed like $200,000 million, which is a ton for a country like mine. So that's why the country did not collapse under Chavez. But what happened when Chavez died in 2013? When Chavez died in 2013, then the country was exposed. The economy was exposed because there were too many years running a deficit, too many years borrowing money, too many years destroying the economy. Because then in 2009, for example, he nationalized almost all the industry, he nationalized agriculture, he nationalized more items. So then by 2013, when he died, the economy was really slowing down, but it was all the fundamentals were there for economic collapse. So when Nicolás Maduro took power, instead of pivoting the nation, instead of changing the course of the nation, like changing the policies and trying to open the economy, then Maduro doubled down. He doubled down the policies of Chavez. He doubled down his policies. For instance, in 2013, by the end of the year, Maduro imposed strong price caps in almost all industries. So he imposed something that he called the fair price. So he imposed a 30% gain in 30% profit, 30% margin profit for all industries, and that basically bankrupt many businesses. So that was the moment in which the oil revenues declined, where we have debt, where we have a bad economy, bad incentives. Because what happened in these kind of economies, these kind of command economies, socialist economies, and the incentives are there for rent seekers to try to take advantage of the subsidies, for rent seekers to try to take advantage of policies, and you cannot create prosperity in those kind of systems. So the economy collapsed, and then from 2014, 15, 16, 17, we have been collapsing. And as I said, since 2013 up to this day, it's a more than 50% collapse, which is really destroying the nation. And for example, according to the IMF, if we don't stop this now, there's going to be a 20% decline this year, and inflation will exceed 10 million %. 10 million %. That means that prices are doubling down every couple of days. And because wages are not rising, and they cannot rise because there is no productivity in the country. Because wages are not rising, people are really suffering. Because the minimum wage, as I said, is just $6 per month. So that's the magnitude of the economic collapse. Meanwhile, Latin America in all these years have been growing because the external positive shock during the Chavez years was so huge, not only in oil revenues, but for example in oil resources. And you know that, for example, Chile relies on copper, Argentina on soja, all this kind of stuff. Venezuela really underperformed all Latin American nations, not only in this period of Maduro, but also in all the Chavez years. So that's, I think, another myth that I think we need to attack. Chavez did not raise people out of poverty. He didn't lift people out of poverty. He just had a huge debt. He has a huge positive shock, and even though he had that, he put more people into difficult situations. Why? Because even though that we had a little bit of economic growth during his years, it was so bread for today and misery for tomorrow. And even though we had that, we underperformed other Latin American nations. And what could be another lesson for Americans from this experience? What could be? That Venezuela was really a developed nation before Chavez. So this is not something that could happen only to underdeveloped and third world nations. This is something that could happen to everyone. When you have politicians that impose bad economic policies, when you have politicians that impose bad political policies, bad political institutions, then this happens. Economic collapse, misery, more inequality, and more poverty. And this is something that we really need to fight. Because I have seen, for example, many college campuses that we have right now a fight. Is that many people believe that the system of free market, the system of free society, is not a fair system. And it is a fair system. It is fair, it is just, it is the best system that we can have. Why? Not only because our system relies on voluntary exchanges, but because our system leaves people out of poverty. Our system creates prosperity. Our system enables us to eat 3 times per day and to be able to follow our dreams. Do you think a kid in Venezuela right now is able to follow his dreams or her dreams? It is impossible. In a country like mine, the only dream that kids have is to flee the nation. And that's world. That's world. And I think that we are here in the United States, I think we have a responsibility, that we have a duty to protect the institutions that create prosperity, the institutions that enables us to follow our dreams, to work hard, to study, and to be better every single day. So, let me talk about the history and the past of Venezuela. And I will try to, I was envisioning this conversation more interactive with you guys, but as a result that we don't have the microphone there, as I cannot listen to you guys, I will try to finish in a few minutes and then we can start doing the Q&A and we can start to talk to each other. So, let me talk to you about the history of Venezuela. How was Venezuela before Chavez? Venezuela was, in fact, by the 1970s, the most developed nation in Latin America. One of the 20th richest GDP per capita in Latin America. The most democratic country with the less income inequality in Latin America. While Latin America had dictatorship in almost all their countries, for example, Jorge Jraissati in Argentina, Strockman in Paraguay, Trujillo in the Dominican Republic, Venezuela was a democracy by the 1970s. At the same time, Venezuela was really the most important development experience in Latin America at the time. Venezuela was the poorest country in Latin America at the beginning of the 20th century. And then after we found oil, then we started developing very rapidly, very rapidly. So until the 1980s, Venezuela was the country that grew faster in the entire century. By the 1980s, Venezuela had the highest GDP per capita. We have a AAA credit rating. We have the lowest inflation rate in the world, just after the United States. So Venezuela was a success story by all means. The poverty was declining. Inequality was declining, illiteracy rate was declining. By 1980, 75% of Venezuelans were able to read and write, something really, really different than other Latin American nations that were really underdeveloped in terms of human capital. And Venezuela was by all means a developed nation. We have a strong institution, we have very well done political institutions. We had a strong political system. But then what happened in the 1980s is that we have an external shock, lower oil revenues, raising of interest rates worldwide, bad economic policies in the 80s like all Latin American nations. And what happened? Well, the country didn't rule for 2 days. And then in 1992, Chavez made a coup d'etat, a failed coup d'etat. But even though it was a failed coup d'etat, he was not put in jail for a few years, and he was able to run for president. For political reasons that it will take me 2 hours to explain, he was able to run for president, and people voted for the guy. People believed he was the solution. People believed he was the solution from 2 decades of not growing, from 2 decades of corruption, from 2 decades of difficulties. And then we already know the history after that. So I think that's another thing that we need to take into consideration. Is that when, for example, people vote for socialism, they vote for them because they think and they feel that their solutions, that their ideas, that their platforms will lead them out of poverty. They believe that the ideas of a more socialist nation with more redistribution, with more social justice, they believe that those ideas will give prosperity to them. And they believe them. And for example, there are many people in Latin America and in Venezuela that they were very, very poor. So they had reasons to want to make a change. They had reasons to believe in someone like Chavez 2 decades ago. But I think that's why we need to fight this battle of ideas. We need to go out there to campuses and talk to people. We need to go out there on campuses and explain why only with free markets, with open trade, with a limited government, with low levels of regulation, with low levels of taxes. These are the institutions that we need to have so we can create prosperity, so we can increase division of labor, so we can increase capital accumulation. I think those, for example, like me, who study economics, I think we need to go and we need to explain the reasons why a free market is better than a commodity economy. But I think it's more than that, and it's more important than that. We need to give a message that is appealing. We need to give a message that touches not only the minds of people, but the hearts of the people. If we give this message and we start talking to them, and we start explaining to them and putting an emotional argument, I think we can give a great value to our message, and we can win this battle of ideas. Because I think that the reason that we are here, the reason I'm talking to you right now, the reason that you guys are listening to me, is that we all care about the problems that we have right now in society. There are people that cannot pay rent, not tomorrow, but today. There are people that cannot pay rent today. There are people that cannot pay dinner today. And those people concern us. And I think that's why we are here. It's because we want to have a more fair society. We want to have a better society. We want to have a society without poverty. We want to have a society with more opportunities to education, to work, to have a career. I think we want to have that society. And I think that we, even every single one of us, go to our campus and start talking to people, and start engaging in debates, and try to understand them, listening to them. I think we can win this battle of ideas.